how one bad decision cost me my credit. And this is important because a lot of times people get so caught up in doing certain things just because it's publicly marketed in a way that everybody feels like it's the thing to do. You still got to be mindful of what it is that you're doing. Otherwise, a decision can cost you your credit as well. I was thinking earlier today how a lot of people are talking about even business credit, and I'm gonna get to the point, but business credit, and they're talking about how you can get up to $100,000, $50,000. Well, if you're getting business credit, then hopefully you know how to generate revenue. So many people get business credit but don't even know how to generate revenue. So that's not something that should be marketed like that, in a way that doesn't give them the tools and the things that they need in order to build a profitable business. Otherwise, you get $100,000 in credit and now you're $100,000 in debt because you are not able to generate a profit. The same is true as what I'm about to say. When it comes to getting multiple credit cards, a lot of people are putting the idea out, hey, you can get 8 credit cards, 10 credit cards. True, you can, and your credit will allow you to do it, and you can do it in a way that allows you to minimize the amount of increase that you get. True, you can. But what they're not telling you is that if you get all of these credit cards and say those credit cards totaled up to $20,000 worth of credit, or 30 or 10 plus, whatever the number is, do you know how to be disciplined? Because with credit cards, you must be disciplined. Credit cards are a powerful piece to the puzzle. I like credit cards. I'm not opposed to them, but it requires discipline. Otherwise, you dig a deep hole and you put yourself in debt that is centered around consumerism in many cases, not necessarily even investing in many cases. And if you do that, what happens is now you're in a deeper hole based on some things that you consumed that didn't contribute to your net worth at all. So what happens is people get all of these credit cards and they end up spending it on groceries, spending it on, clothes, spending it on vacation. And now they're not generating enough income, whether from their job or from their business or a combination of the two. And now they find themselves in too deep, digging a deeper hole. And that is something that similarly happened to me. I didn't go all crazy in terms of having multiple credit cards, but got in the habit of using credit cards on a regular basis, generating points, just running it up, because that's another thing. People are talking about all these points, generating points, and I'm running the points up just like, hey, yo, I'm using a credit card just for the sake of the points, but using it more than what I was in a position to spend or pay down. So then it came to the point to where I'm just making less than the amount that I spent. Then it was like, okay, with some tough times, oh, I'm only paying the minimum. And now the interest kicks in, and now the interest adds on top of your own expenses. And when the interest adds on top of your own expenses, it's even more. It's even bigger. So now that one decision to overutilize that credit, overutilize it due to the fact that I'm generating points, led to a drop in the score. And what happens is if you run up your credit card balances and they get above 30, 50, 60, 80, 90 percentile, now you're playing with the area of credit utilization, which is responsible for 30% of your score, which equals 165 points per credit reporting agency or consumer reporting agency, or what many people may call the bureau. So how do you avoid that? Have control, have discipline when it comes to your credit cards, and get in a position that you're able to use the card but pay it off in full, and know when to pay it off. When is the best time to pay it off? You want to find out, and this is your homework. If you haven't done this, do this. You want to find out exactly when they report to the credit reporting agencies. Find out. Contact Capital One, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whomever your credit card is with, Citi. Contact them and say, hey, what day of the month do you, report to the credit reporting agencies? And they'll usually give you a date. They may say it's the statement closing date, whatever it is, but you want to have a date. And once you have that date, what you want to do is you set the reminder in your calendar to determine that you're going to pay it off before that date. And ultimately, you want to pay it under 10%. Single digit percentage. That means you can pay it 5% or less. So if it's a $1,000 credit card, then you're paying it under $50. Making sure that when they report, they're reporting less than $50. Even zero is fine, because it saves you a ton of money on interest and it helps to increase your score significantly. So a lot of people who have maxed out cards, really, just you paying your credit cards down is going to help you boost your score in a timely fashion. But be aware of the mistake that I made in terms of running it up for the sake of points. But this mistake is made in other areas as well, like I talk about with business credit and getting multiple credit cards and utilizing it more than you have the revenue to pay it down. That's all I got. You know what to do. Salute.